Alright. It took a little bit, but we are back to review very quickly because the rounds are about to start. The decks of the four people we didn't see. We know, of course, that Daniel is in green blue and that Sawyer is in red green. Um, Time to look at everybody else. First up, we have Zach Carr, who
I'm ready.
started with a first pick Virtue of Loyalty into a Grim Dancer and a Pariah. So, sort of had a very straightforward draft of black white. Makes sense being between our two green drafters. Um, Nothing super big besides the first two picks, I would say. Has some go wide, only the one board pump, lots of removal, and notably, in his very second pick, this closing statement was not taken. And because of that, his teammate on the other side of Daniel, Mitch, is also black white,
Wow.
which was something I was afraid of looking through Zach's picks. Looking here at Mitch, a first pick bleed dry, I think that's pretty fair. I
Oh,
think
nice.
Deadeye Brawler's probably better, but of course is two colors. Invocation's a fun one, but then he probably didn't see much green sitting next to Daniel and saw these good black spells. And then, of course, this closing statement, and then how open white seemed to be. It This sort of makes sense, and is not surprising that they ended up cutting each other.
Yeah, it's funny to see two teammates in the same colors.
Yes, it happens more than you might think. Uh, let's sort by rarity real fast. See if he's got anything good. Nothing I would. The Glorious Protector is quite good. But besides that, just sort of, some spirits, some card draw in black, good removal, two gifted Aetherborns, quite good. But it does appear that him and Zach were probably cutting each other pretty heavily. But both have plenty good cards.
Yeah, they both have lots of removal. Like
Lots and lots
they've
of
got lots of removal.
all the black removal, lots and lots of removal, lots of good creatures, lots of flying top end. Subjugator Angel, a fantastic finisher.
Yeah.
Looks like Paul's probably looking to win in the air. Or, sorry, Mitch is trying to win in the air, remove everything on the ground, hold things down with good low drops. And Zach is probably more trying to hold off, kill everything until he gets to one of his really good rares.
Hmm.
Um, as well for their third teammate, Paul, we've got red blue. Interesting that we saw Sawyer take an early masterpiece. Seems to have been multiple in the draft. But here's a lot of those red damage spells that we saw a lot of go around. The Gimli and a Tameo. Very interested if he's splashing
Interesting.
that. This is a very low drop, very aggressive deck. I'm curious if he'll be playing things like counter spells. He does have the preening champion that Zach saw
Oh,
very
nice.
early. Makes sense. I'll be very curious if this Tameo's in the deck, because I'm not seeing much in the way of fixing.
Might just be a hate draft. Can't let it go around.
I certainly agree with that. Um, let's see real fast. It was his first pick.
Ah, okay.
So he was going into green, and then there were two green drafters. He sees this printing champion adjacent card. Um, Sees the blue going around and not a ton of green. Still going for the green dream. Oh, Vito, very different. Both of his teammates would have loved to see this, I'm sure. Uh,
How funny is that? That he his teammates were already picking on each other. Then he
and
takes
then
the
he
veto.
has to hate draft the black white. Deeply unfortunate. He sees the praying champion, so he has two of these sort of effects of a Nice blue flyer with a body. Whispering Wizard, a great pickup. It feels like he sees some good blue and he sort of gets in there.
Hey,
Still
that's what you
maybe
need to do.
thinks he's gonna be green, but it's getting taken so heavily by the discers, and red seems quite open. So sort of shifts. Oh, that's a great pickup. Very so. The red blue flows for him, and I think that's a good thing to do. Seems like he really thinks about being green though, but at the end of the day, the red blue is what was open for him. It looks like.
He probably kept trying to think, I got this Tameo, how do I get it to work?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so close
And all the
to playing
fixings
this
being
thing.
taken by Sawyer
Yeah.
and Daniel. And then for the third of the Discers, Jordan, we've got a black blue deck. He does have those two Maestro's cards that I pointed out were in that same pack right after each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, doesn't have some of the black, blue, gold cards that I might expect. I saw a couple of those go around, but does have some, of course.
He's got some okay stuff with that. I saw a Drag the Canal in there. That's a pretty fun one.
Started with an Icy Manipulator, very
Oh,
player.
I
There are,
gotta
of
love
course, some
that.
very good green cards in the pack, but, you know, this card goes in any deck. He went for the Tribute. Interesting. Interesting he went for the Tribute over the Deadeye Brawler. Didn't want to commit to two colors this early, and I believe Sawyer ends up hate drafting this, which would have been
Wow.
fantastic in his deck, but of course might have led somebody else to be.
Yeah.
Black Blue, Siren, a fantastic card. Many Fairies, interesting. Trickster is very fun. So it feels like he was sort of taking some artifacts. Interesting. Does not go for the Protector. And I would not say was heavily in anything except blue at this point.
Hmm.
Just decided it was not worth being white, I suppose. And not going for the Bookworm or the Feed the Swarm. Taking this over Feed the Swarm is very interesting to me.
Yeah, Warm's so good.
I know there was talk of every set has a Act of Treason effect. So there is a red black sack sort of theme that you can do, and
Ooh,
I feel
okay.
like Tribute and Draught and Mutt are all very much on that sort of line of thinking of if you see enough active treason effects, nobody really wants those. So you should take sack effects and then try and go into that sort of game plan. Not that we really saw many sack effects, and it doesn't appear to be what he ends up doing, but I'm very surprised that this, which I don't consider to be a very good sack outlet, but maybe others do. I just can't imagine taking that over Feed the Swarm, but he's certainly a better Magic player than me, so he knows something I don't. Gravedigger, fantastic pickup.
Yeah, I gotta love that.
Yeah, no questions there. 2 mana, 2/3. Kill spell. Yeah, I mean, very clearly black at this point. And then maybe it looks like he's thinking of red.
Yeah, that red really did seem to go around.
I agree. There was a lot of red in this pack that I think made a lot of people look. So wasn't willing to take the Protector. It does take the Felidar Retreat. Assumedly on the hate draft here, but still interesting. Sunset Pyramid to go with his Icy Manipulator. 2 Sunset Pyramids to go with his Icy Manipulator. That's what I
Nice.
call a control game plan.
That's a
Red,
fun one.
red black land, which will come in handy later. This red black land, he was thinking of being full Grix's colors, and I think that does pay off for him. He goes for the kicker, which means that Obika must wheel. He gets the cold case cracker, which we were very surprised to not go sooner. Now let's see, Obira. Old Priest, very nice. So just a very controlling sort of game plan. Okay, so here's the Heartstabber that I saw, so that's good. Mystic
Yeah,
is a win condition. Yeah,
seems like it
this
really just came together.
yeah, this is definitely what I saw go around and noted if somebody was in black blue, they're really getting paid off, and it
Mm-hmm.
appears that was the case. He's valuing Circle of Confinement, which I thought should not have been going that late, but you know.
It can't all be Jordans and Mirandas.
Another Avenatron. There were a lot of this effect in this draft. Goes for that over the Infiltrator, which I think is very fair. Um, and there's that. It doesn't clock Vorinclex is enough of a threat. Gets the Archmage. Very, very nice for this deck.
I think they might be starting their games.
Alright. Well, I think we got a pretty good feel for everybody's decks. We will call it here and get back into the games now.